discussion keeps the world turning.
This is Roundtable.
You're listening to Roundtable. I'm Steve Hatherley, joined today by Yushan and my coworker, Liar, I think, who was warning me during the station break about the downtown Chongqing monkeys that will rob me during my trips.
Not necessarily in Chongqing, but in southwestern region of China.
In the downtown areas of the city.
In parks, sometimes. You don't know.
Yushan, is she messing with me?
Maybe not.
This is the fun of being an expat coworker, I suppose. I don't know if you're telling the truth or not. You're listening to Roundtable, and coming up next, an interesting topic. Why is it that we find perfection boring? A Chinese reality show puts that question to the test live on air, and it's really quite the funny experiment. No retouches, no second takes, just glorious, awkward, unfiltered realness. Audiences are obsessed, and today we're going to talk about it. Why or when did we stop wanting perfection and start wanting someone who sounds exactly like us, sour notes and all? After that, 3 o'clock in the morning. You open your eyes, you peek at your phone, and suddenly your brain starts running numbers instead of resting. Turns out that tiny glance is sabotaging more than you think. So what's happening inside your head when you check that time, and what should you actually do the next time you're staring at your ceiling in the middle of the night? Our podcast listeners can find us at Roundtable China on Apple Podcasts. Send your voice notes our way if you want to get in touch. roundtablepodcast@qq.com. Once again, roundtablepodcast at qq.com. And now, for decades, many cultures around the world have been obsessed with the perfect celebrity, that untouchable, hyper-curated icon who never ages, never sweats, and certainly never hits an off note when singing. But the biggest reality sensation in China, Ride the Wind, just bet the entire house on the complete opposite. By intentionally killing the auto-tune and stripping away the digital filters and leaning into the unfiltered chaos of a live broadcast, they sparked a viral firestorm of both mockery and fascination. So today we're going to talk about that. What makes us feel truly human when we're watching these imperfect performances? Is it about the relatability, or is it about being authentic, or is something else here at play? Yeah, so we're going to talk about the Chinese show, but there are international examples that I can share on this topic as well. But let's start here in the country.
Yeah, so in the past few weeks, actually, there have been a couple of clips going viral on Chinese internet. It's from a show called Ride the Wind. Now is in their 7th season so far. And all of the clips, most of the time featuring actresses, performers during that show, singing and dancing on stage and completely out of tune, or couldn't recite the lyrics, or couldn't really dance to every move. And I'm not talking about, they missed one tone. I'm talking about the whole song just doesn't sound like that original sound anymore. And that's how, one of the reasons why it's getting very viral.
If you compare this show to other reality singing shows in the country, is that what sets it apart? Is that you'll see performances here that are straight up bad in the eyes of the viewers, whereas in other shows, they tend to be more, curated or on key or something like that?
I think so. It's like one of the talent shows when you have a bunch of amateur singers who try to make it in the in music industry, but some of them just got really, really bad, and they got somehow more famous than those who can sing. But when it comes to this show, actually, I think they have this two different types of shows that performances actually got viral. One is the ones that got really, really good. Like one of the singers, proudly from Inner Mongolia, Wulan Tuya, she can sing and dance just exactly like what she sounded on CDs. And that's performance got really, really popular online. And then on the other side of the spectrum, we have performers like Li Xiaoran and most recently Tang Yuxing, who just completely singing out of tones, and even can't really, I'm not sure, remember or recite the exact lyrics of the original sound, but somehow people still love that show. And their performance basically becomes the meme of that week.
Yeah, people are being very critical about these ladies. But in the meantime, also kind of liking it and sharing the videos, it eventually becomes a meme.
So bad that it's good.
Yeah.
In a way.
Right.
You showed me a video before we got started with the show today, Fei Fei, and you asked me, like, can you recognize that that's bad? Because they're singing in Chinese, obviously. And I said, yeah, even though I can't understand what the words mean, I can understand that they're not singing in tune. But so I immediately understood why these types of things were so popular. But this show, though, Ride the Wind, right? That's the name of it. It's not brand new. It's been around for a while. And also, the point of the show is not to showcase bad performers. It's to showcase good performances by unexpected performers.
Well, it still is the case nowadays. They didn't see, there's the expected excellency of singers like Wulan Tuya, where people expect a very fine singing tune from her. And then there's the unexpected side where even I think the program themselves didn't really thought that it's going to get viral because of how bad it turns out. So, for example, we mentioned one of the ladies. He is I think she's over her 50-year-old, and she's already a very much well-established actress that has a lot of fan base based on the works that she's participated in before, and also her personality. But putting on stage, she's probably just not there yet. She tries her best, along with many other ladies on that show. They gave their best, but they're not meeting the requirement in terms of singing plus dancing. So I guess that's where the mismatch kind of happens. And you're right, Steve, this show has been around for a while, and it's kind of a cultural heavyweight in China in terms of live TV shows too. And in the past, the show did successfully reintroduce singers, quite a few of them, including Cindy Wang Xingling, to younger audiences who didn't grow up listening to their songs, and now that they're back to mainstream. But nowadays, there seems to be like a mismatch of expectation, but also kind of cooking up the popularity of the show in general.
It's back in the news again this year for, I guess, the viral clips of the quote unquote bad performances, but also they tried out a full live format.
Yeah. That's one of their highlights in this season, actually, because the show itself, Ride the Wind, you can actually date back to the year 2020, I think. But back then, it was titled a completely different name called Sisters Who Make Waves. So what's not changed over the past 6-7 seasons that they always invite performers in the age around 30 or even you're older than that, in their 40s or 50s. For example, one of the viral clip star, Li Xiaoran, she is in her 50s. And so they basically are inviting these kind of all of them are female celebrities. And some of them are definitely not professional singers and dancers. This season, for example, we have a former athlete, Wang Meng, as well. So you can sort of, so that's why when they stage the really bad performance, is within the audience expectations.
Oh, yeah, because not everybody's a singer.
Yeah, and when you are trying to sing and dance at the same time, it's even more harder than just simply sing. Because in this week's viral clip, Li Xiaoran actually, I think, surprised a lot of audience that she can actually sing because she's not dancing this time. But when it comes to the other performer, she is singing and dancing at the same time, and that's why. And sometimes I think the song also requires some sort of a rapping at the same time. It's even more difficult. So I think, and they are pretty honest about this.
The performers?
Yeah, they apologized and they said, but I've tried my best, but sorry, I cannot just stage a professional singing and dancing performance to you guys.
But these are the clips that, I mean, I understand why the internet goes crazy for these. We have plenty of international examples. X Factor, I don't know if you've ever heard of that show. It's like a talent competition show. American Idol, the reality singing contest. American Idol, I used to love that show, and the number one reason I loved it is because in the very beginning of a new season, you'd have the open auditions, and that means anybody can try out. So you get these people who have, like me, zero musical ability whatsoever, but they're standing there in front of these pro judges thinking that they could potentially be the next singing star in America. And those are the clips from that show that were always the most popular.
Were you on that show?
No!
Oh, okay.
You also have to be very confident.
No, my goodness.
to get filmed and, broadcasted.
But I worked with a guy who finished 6th place overall. He's a tremendous singer. No, but the point is that, sometimes they're so bad that it's almost more entertaining than the people who are actually great singers on the show. That's one example. Another example outside of the world of singing. Do you remember at the Olympics? I think it was 2024, right? At the Paris Olympics, there was an Australian breakdancer. Her name was Rachel Gunn.
I think her clip also got viral during that time.
Is it the lady in green
Yes.
sweatshirt and dancing on the floor?
Yeah,
That
well,
becomes a meme?
that's breakdancing.
Yeah.
But she was doing it so poorly, apparently, that people got either really supportive of her, saying the point of breakdancing is that you have the freedom of expression. You can do it however you want. Or people were very upset, saying, how could you make a joke out of the Olympic stage because, you took someone else's place whose dream would have been to be there and do their best performance. But again, it's just another example of how something so bad can go viral and get people talking about it.
Yeah, that reminds me, maybe I'm in the rabbit hole of memes on Douyin these days. I noticed another, I think it's either from the UK's X Factor performances. There's a guy singing that he created a song called Friday Night and he wants to perform. It's also one of the open auditions of that competition or contest. But his performance is also a bit off. To put it lightly. And that meme is also a meme that got really popular this week or the past week on the Chinese Douyin. And people love it. It's like he's not singing, he's not also dancing at the same time. But I guess it's the either authenticity of these kind of performances that is drawing to people's attentions about, I don't have to be the best in the world. I need this kind of confidence so that, there's something that I really need in my daily life.
Yeah. I think it's that people can relate to it, right? I'm a terrible singer. Oh my gosh, they're just as bad as I am. And yet they're on the TV and I'm not. Oh, thank goodness I'm not on that. So there's that level of relatability. And I think maybe too, we're so used to seeing perfect performances that it's maybe a little refreshing to see one that isn't. The name of the show, one more time?
Ride the Wind.
Check it out and see if you like it as much as the internet does. All right, you're listening to Roundtable, and coming up next, if you wake up in the middle of the night, do you check your phone? If yes, you may want to stop.
Looking for passion? How about fiery debate? Want to hear about current events in China from different perspectives? Then tune in to Roundtable, where East meets West and understanding is the goal.
You're listening to Roundtable. I'm Steve today with Yushan and Fei Fei. Do you do it? Do you wake up in the middle of the night and instead of just going straight back to sleep, you feel around on your bed for your phone and then click it open to check the time? If you do, you're not alone. But that quick look at the time might seem harmless, but instead it can make it much harder to fall back asleep. Why? Let's talk about it. Why is it so bad to look at your phone in the middle of the night? Everybody does it, don't we do it?
Yeah. Well, nowadays people just put their phone nearby next to their pillow, next to the bed. So it's really convenient. And also you kind of need that information too. Sometimes not sure if it's in the middle of the night, but yeah, throughout the night, if you wake up, I kind of want to know sometimes.
Yeah, I want to get prepared.
Exactly. Am I too late for work, or is it just because the outside is too dark, especially during winter?
Yeah, so I want to I feel like it's almost intuitive to check out the time when you wake up in the middle of the night. For me, I'm just preparing how many hours do I have left. Should I be alert? If, for example, I wake up at 4 in the morning, I only have like 1 or 2 hours left.
Seems like a perfect time for me to share this from the internet. One viral post put it like this: if you wake up in the middle of the night, whether for a bathroom trip or no reason at all, do not check the time. Don't start calculating how many hours of sleep you have left, and definitely don't peek out the window trying to figure out whether dawn is near. That was just the Yushan situation and the Fei Fei situation said all in 2 sentences. Here's the reason, according to the post. Because once you do, your mind can quickly shift into overdrive. Suddenly you're worrying about whether you'll be able to fall back asleep, and that's when the cycle begins. The next night you wake up at the same time. You check again. You worry again, and before you know it, you're stuck in a frustrating late night loop. So the reason they say don't do this is because you're training your brain to wake up at that time of the night.
That explained so much. Like I can't even remember last year for a couple of weeks, I keep waking up at around 3 a.m. It's not because of bathroom reasons, not because I have something in mind, it's not because of any anxiety reasons, just somehow I wake up at 3 in the middle of the night. I went to the doctors and to check if there's something wrong with me. Nothing is wrong with me, but somehow I just keep waking up at 3 and then play with my phone for like 1 or 2 hours.
Until 5 a.m.
Wow,
Yeah, and
Fei
then
Fei.
I became so tired I fell asleep again.
Oh.
So maybe that's the reason, according to this post, is that I'm putting myself into this cycle that I'm telling my body, my biological clock, to wake up at 3 for
You're
no
training
reason.
it. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. And there's plenty of posts on the internet to support that. Yushan, what's happening inside our bodies when we do this?
Yeah, there's actually a biological explanation for that too, because any light exposure at night, whether it's from a digital clock or your phone screen, it all signal to your brain rather, that it's time to wake up. And in response, your body reduces its production of melatonin, which is the hormone that helps you feel sleepy. So that's why, Fei Fei, once you wake up in the middle of the night and check out the time, and you'd rather scroll than falling back immediately back to sleep because you don't feel sleepy at all because of that little shed of light from your screen. And once melatonin levels drop, it will be hard to get back to sleep. So it's really not your fault in terms of that.
This is what an expert says. Dr. Narina Ramlakhan says, she's a physiologist, says sleep and stress management is a difficult thing, and checking the time every time you wake up will just lead to a more disturbed night. Never check the time if you wake up during the night. It is completely normal to wake up during the night. That's not the bad part. But if you're a sensitive sleeper, then checking the time can send you into a whirl of calculations and worry about how much sleep you will or will not be getting.
But it will be very difficult unless I lock my phone in some kind of a locker to not reach out to the phone when you wake up suddenly in the middle of the night and not feeling really tired and sleepy. So you don't feel like, in my case last year, I didn't really feel like I want to fall asleep. And what should I do? Like I also can't open up a lamp and read a book or drink water. But maybe, I'm not really sure. So sometimes maybe I'm not meditation, when I practice my breathing would help maybe.
Here's what they say. Try not to get up. Try not to even shift around in the bed. Stay right where you are. That's extreme. I can't move.
Putting more pressure on me.
What if I want to change?
Seriously. Breaths. Yes, Fei Fei. Take deep, slow breaths while letting your mind wander aimlessly. Don't focus on anything like, where's my phone? If you find yourself starting to stress or fixate on one topic like, where's my phone? Deliberately think of something else on purpose and make sure that you're thinking of something soothing so that your brain can drift off and drift away.
Soothing like my phone.
Wow. How I deal with it in a personal manner is that whenever my cat step on me and wake me up, I'll just touch on his head and feel his fur and talk to him in a very low voice, like, man, come on, I need more sleep.
Good
That's
thing.
the soothing.
Get off me.
Good thing your cat doesn't have a digital screen.
Yep, exactly. That's one way to help.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There's the tips. I don't know if I agree with all of those tips, like the don't move one, but that's what the experts say. All right, that's it for today's roundtable. Thank you so much for being with us on this pre-May Day holiday episode. Travel safely wherever it is you're going. Have a great time. Thanks for this show today to Fei Fei and Yushan. You too, guys. Enjoy your holiday.
You
Thank
too.
you.
And we'll see you again next time on Roundtable.